strong and confident. We live? Okay. Today we are going to be building the most powerful superweapon known to the galaxy. The Death Star.
So the first thing I always like to do on getting a mega build like this started is try and decide not only the pieces that I want to use, but the sizes of those pieces as well.
Calling Darth Vader.
So in order to get started on that, we're going to hop over to our... Coming! Alright, game face.
Hello, this is Darth Vader, answering your phone call.
Hello, is your hypermatter reactor running?
Well, not yet, but I can assure you this battle station will be fully operational.
Well, you better go and catch it!
I will be killing him.
I gotta work on that. As I was saying, we're here in our testing world where I've built a couple miniature models of the Death Star, and the main thing that I'm trying to figure out is the size of the pieces that I want to use and the color of those pieces. So for this first one on the left, I tried to keep the color true to form and made it pretty much gray all the way around. But there is one problem with it, which is why I built a second miniature model as well. The only thing that I don't like about this is that if you look at the real Death Star, when it comes to adding the secondary color, which is what these black pieces are supposed to represent, in the actual Death Star, they're more of like a darker gray instead of a straight black. And I think it looks okay here, but if we did it on a huge scale, I think the black would be really overwhelming and just wouldn't look good. So if we did go with this model, I'm not really sure if we would even add the black. I might just leave it completely gray, but of course keep the black center. This is also probably about 1/10 of the scale that we're actually going to build on, so complexity could be an issue. But going over to our second miniature model, I changed it up a little bit, and I feel like if I went with this version, I might get absolutely roasted in the comments because the Death Star is not white, but I feel like it does look kind of cool. It almost looks more like futuristic. And what I like about this is we would actually have a third color that we can use. So the black would be in the middle, we would have the white, and then all of the texturing, we could use our light gray foundation blocks. And I do think that this looks pretty cool. And I would love to see what this looks like on a much bigger scale. But I want to try to make this look as authentic as possible. So I think I'm going to go with this option, and we might do the black in it as well, but I'm not sure. Let's get started on it. Oh boy. Well, we're about 20 hours into building, and right at about halfway through, we hit the build limit. As I kept building and the Death Star got bigger, I kind of realized this was inevitable, and I'm not gonna lie, it's painful. There's just so much pain, but we're gonna stay positive. We're gonna, you know, this is fine. I'm an idiot. This is way too big. But I have a plan B, and we're still going to make this look cool. I at least want to be able to have an angle that makes it look like this is 100% complete. So this will be my life for the next 20 hours. Building and tearing down, and building and tearing down more. What have I done? Wow, this took so long. Oh my goodness. Never again. I don't know if I've showed you yet, but this is the only thing holding up the entire Death Star. Living life on the edge. I know it's not completely finished, but from this angle over here, it looks very intimidating, and I'm happy with it. I would love to detail the outside of it a little bit more, and I think adding the black, like I mentioned earlier, actually would have been okay, but there's really just no chance we can do that given the build limit. The one thing that I really wish this game had was more foundation pieces. Like, we have brown and gray, and that's pretty much it, but if we could get these in like every single color, that would just be so helpful. Because if we were to add details with the black, we would have to use this kind of a floor, because in order to get one foundation piece, you would have to use 3 of these individual pieces. And we're already at the build limit, so there's really just no chance we could go all the way around this thing. So our Death Star does look a little bit boring because it's just gray, but it does look pretty cool still. Also, if you want to build something like this for yourself, I actually used a sphere generator to get this shape, which is how it looks so perfect. I'll link the one that I used in the description, so if you want to build this for yourself, you can. Just know that if you want to actually be able to complete the Death Star, you're not going to want to do this size. So I built mine 74 pieces tall. If you are going to build the Death Star or any kind of of sphere. Every individual piece that you put down, if you're using a foundation block, you have to make it a complete cube, and the foundation block itself isn't, because you need to add one of these on top. And if you're using the wood foundation, it would just be the same thing, but with a wood piece. There's a lot of different things you can do with a tool like that, so I definitely recommend trying it out. I think we pretty much did what we could here. We technically do still have about 10 more layers, but from down here, you can't really tell. I also put these little black pieces here to represent where the super laser would go. In the actual Death Star, it looks more like a crater that goes into it, but I've hit the build limit so much that I just can't do this anymore. It's driving me insane. I also don't really have much more that I can break. As you can see, our Death Star is completely one-sided. Not even an entire half, but that's all right. I wish I could build the rest of this, but I can't do it. I went too big. But I am happy with what we were able to get done. But there is one more thing that I need to do before we close out this video, and that is test the super laser.
Alright, General Rodimus. Mr. Funny Guy. Initiate weapon systems. Target General Rodimus. Fire. We missed. If we miss General Rodimus, then that means... Oh no.
Immersiv. Mann, das ist echt ein cooles Wort. Ich glaube, das ist sogar mein neues Lieblingswort. Ich frage mich, was Trillen gerade so treibt. Ich habe den lang nicht mehr gesehen. Was war das denn?
I was never here.
Thank you so much for watching, and a huge thank you to Game Boy Pablo and General Rodimus for joining the video. Go show Game Boy Pablo and General Rodimus some love on their channels, and please let General Rodimus know I'm coming for him. But before we go, I do actually have one more thing that I want to try that I just thought of. Death Star has these lights that go in this middle section. Kind of curious to see what these look like at night from far away. I think it might look cool. Just hoping we don't hit the build limit. I feel like you can only really see them from up close, which kind of stinks. But who knows, maybe at night they'll shine more. Like from up close, it looks really cool, but from far away, I think the glow kind of goes away. Yep, no glow. If we get closer, they do. But if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe. Use code Trillin in the Fortnite item shop, and I'll catch you in the next one.